Hey, how you doing? So it looks like it worked perfectly fine. So there we go. Before I had some trouble doing it, but I was also trying to do it through a secondary app as well. So I guess maybe they improved it a little bit. Who knows? We'll see. So anyway, this channel is actually about tea and specific to tea. So I'm trying to keep the topic uh, in those parameters. So let's see here. It's got a cool panel here with the kind of setup. So I kind of like this. So let's see. Let's work it out. So let's see here. I'm just waiting for some. Hopefully, a few more people come on. I don't know if it'll be the case or not. If it's just two people, that's fine. At least it started up, you know. I got some tea I'm brewing. So this is just kind of the tea I have. I just randomly kind of picked it. It's Gyokuro. Hopefully the camera is pretty good on you guys' end. Gyokuro. So it's a green tea. So I said I'm gonna take you guys and I'm gonna just stand up. It's just a half an hour, so it shouldn't be a big deal. All right. How you doing again, Maria? He's not here. Let's see here. I love tea. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, I have a major tea collection. I'll give you guys a peek at it. I have it not fully organized, but generally organized. Also give you guys a peek at my kombucha set. So let's go over there. All right. Get that out of the way. All right, cool. There we go. So I just took this off the heating element. So first it goes into here, the tea, of course. So with certain green teas, they just have the most just fragrant. They're just so fragrant. Um, this is actually the first time I've actually talked about tea other than kombucha on here. So this is I've only done actually posted one video. Um, just kind of really, it has a little mintiness to it. So this is kind of got that kind of like cleansing kind of feel to it. It smells really nice. This isn't a an expensive one. It is a form of green tea. So yeah, I'm going to have kind of like more equipment. This is part of the reason I've been a little slow on getting this channel started. Just been a little shy about that kind of idea. Yeah. Anyway, just got just a little bit in there. You can see it's not like whole leaf, like exactly. So I'm not gonna put too much water because I just put just a couple grams in there, maybe like 1.5, 2 grams in there. So let's wait just a couple minutes, and for that first steep, maybe 1 minute. I'll wait. Try that out. So, what kind of tea do you guys drink as well? So, Luke, Zeno, Maria. Also, if you can hit that like, it'd be awesome. Oh, well, there's 4 and there's 4 likes. So, very well. Never mind. Hot, yeah, lemon hot tea with ginger. Yeah. What lemon hot tea? What type of tea is that? Would it be like a black tea? I would assume because that's the most common in the United States. Are you actually in U.S. or are you in like Mexico or like California or something? Oolong. Okay, so oolong. I have just like one oolong. I don't believe I had just a straight up oolong. It's like a mixed one. How did that 5-day brewing go? Is it 5-day? Did I was checking it at 5 days or something like that. Okay, yeah. So as far as the kombucha, yeah, it's going pretty well. I checked the acidity and all that with the pH tester. It shouldn't be necessary to have to check the pH per se, but but I decided I want to kind of take it serious, and also the more parameters, more things I know about it, the better I can start to gear and understand it. So even if you typically shouldn't have to check the pH, if you do those extra steps, take that extra kind of time to really figure out everything, especially with the things you can actually control that are far less subjective, such as pH level. It's not up to like it's not opinion that it's 3.0 pH. It is 3.0. So those things, when you can say like, okay, the average person likes it at about 3.0 pH versus 2.5, that it can actually is less. I mean, of course, there's subjectivity in that when it comes to the actual people trying it, but it's a lot. You can kind of narrow down a lot when you get those kinds of parameters. Whereas you go, oh, the better tea is whiter, or it's green, or whatever you want to say. When it comes to pH, that's a little different, you know. So those kinds of things, and also knowing how they in fact influence tea as well. So. I'll just give you guys a quick peek. I know this is a little chaotic. Was not it's not really set up to be looked at per se, but it's slightly set up to be looked at. But here you guys go. This is my kombucha right here. It's all my stuff for kombucha. Okay, it's all the pH tester if you were on my other channel. But yeah, that's the doing a little video including this, either with my kombucha or I might make a separate video. We'll see. I'm not sure if I want to make it a separate video because I want to keep this to tea. So maybe I'll just keep it in the actual video. We'll see. Anyway, so that's got all kinds of stuff. Cool stuff's hidden back here. Got some Nice local hive honey from the Northwest. So it's from, where's it actually from? Is doesn't shows the generic region it's from. So it's generically within this region of the United States. It does not specify, but that is generically okay. Packed in Colorado, so Colorado's down here. So anyway, the for the map, Colorado's down here. So anyway, the yeah, it's local, generically local honey. And it looks like it says it's grade A and all that, so it should be pretty good. That goes with the other kombucha that I'm going to be talking about. GMA got me some of these flowering teas. They're pretty to look at and don't taste too bad. As far as flowering, oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, it's like basically you drop it in and then it blooms. Yeah, so it's more by appearance, not necessarily. It's not always necessarily the highest grade tea. It's more about the kind of like tourism type stuff, you know. Like you might. It's not always about the quality. It's about like there's a minimum set of quality, but it's not necessarily the focus. But it just depends. Those things are really awesome, and I would definitely like to learn how to make some blooming teas, and maybe I could make a video on that. That'd be really, really cool. There's a level of expertise on that that I don't have at the moment, but it'd be something to learn about. So I am the wandering tea apprentice. I'm not trying to proclaim to be some expert. You know, hopefully I would like to people would be able to say, hey, he's an expert at it. You know, that'd be cool. Like people would take me on that level of seriousness. I would like to get up there. You know, definitely left it brew too long, guys. I did leave it a few minutes. Shouldn't be too bad. It was just like a few minutes, guys. Sorry about that. Got busy talking. So doesn't smell like it should be too oversteeped. Let's try just a little bit of that. Doesn't smell like kind of oversteeped actually. I think it's fine. Some people do leave it in a few minutes, so. For me, it's a little oversteeped. So it definitely has a kind of what is called a stringent taste to it. So it's a little bitter. So let me you can see that these leaves are cut up, or I guess I should take that out. Here, hold on, you guys. See that the leaves aren't necessarily whole. This looks to be like kind of like a stem, so it's not hand picked. You can see that clearly. It's not the full leaf. It's got kind of cut up, so it's kind of one thing you look for when you're looking at tea. So anyway. Okay. So why was I kind of slurping on it? they actually recommend you do that for aeration. Just for reference, guys. That's kind of why I do that. Let's see here. So yeah, as far as that going back to the kombucha, the 5-day brewing. So basically, it has a SCOBY or symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, and it's basically fermenting black tea. However, I'm going to do another steeping with green tea, and so green tea and honey. That's called a June kombucha, or so. So yeah, so that's my other steeping I'm going to be doing as well. I'll actually give you guys a peek at it. Why not? So I'm going to make this video within. I think I'm ready for it today. We'll see. I think I have all the equipment. I got to double check. As per se, I don't have the video up, therefore haven't fully finished on it. So let's see here. Add honey, tea bags. Yeah. So this one doesn't actually. Okay, it does say 4 green tea bags. Now you don't necessarily have to use green tea per se, but per June, I've pretty much only seen it with green tea. Use coffee filters, rubber band. The coffee filter is basically going to be per se this. Here actually came inside of these. So these are like these filters. They're not. These aren't coffee filters per se. They're. Well, that's kind of like I guess a cheap version that pretty much anyone should have. If they're a coffee drinker. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't have these coffee filters. So now I know a lot of people have Keurigs and stuff nowadays as well, but tons of people do still use coffee filters. Let's see here. These are called like muslin cloths is one thing I've seen it called. My Wi-Fi really bad. Your voice is breaking up. Sounds interesting. Guys, is the sound clear on your end? I'm going to check. Okay, so I don't quite. Really sorry about that, guys. So that I had the video still up. I didn't mute it on the video I was watching from my head. Went back, checked the audio. Someone was saying something about the audio, and it was basically echoing back. It was doing a feedback loop. Sorry about that. I know it got quite bad for just a moment there. Sorry about that. Let's see here. This should slightly improve the audio quality. So I'm going to put this on here. Sorry about that, guys. I guess I was talking to myself for a moment. Uh, sorry. Thank you, guys. I think I only lost one person on that. So yeah. Basically, what I did was I got rid of the old tea. I'm just steeping it just for about 30 seconds to see if it's less bitter. And so I have 2 cups now. One is the old tea. One is going to be the freshly brewed tea. I'm kind of looking for that color to actually get in there. Doesn't seem quite steeped yet. Yeah, it's still a little watery, so it's not fully brewed yet. I'm gonna cover this up. It's supposed to, I'm losing a lot of heat, so cover that back up. I was doing that for display purposes. Yeah, now you can. The lavalier is not specifically meant for a laptop. However, it should work with the laptop. So I'm gonna give it one more try, guys, because it is better quality. I'm gonna give it one more shot. Making sure. No sound. Yeah. Anyway, so. And I went and steeped it a little more than I wanted to. But anyway, that was about a minute. Got involved with that. So I steeped it less, so let's see if it's less bitter. Yeah, I did oversteep the other one. Yeah, well, so I didn't do the 30 seconds also intentionally because I realized I could see by the color that it wasn't steeped because it would still look clear. So anyway, about a minute on this. So what's the point of the steeping time? Because I've seen like time after time, people are like, I only like strong tea. It's like, do you really like strong tea, or have you just gotten used to brewing it? Because what people are doing is they're just putting random amounts. So you have a whole jug, like people. This is about a normal cup right here, like the actual cup someone would drink from. This is don't know offhand the exact amount of ounces this is. I could definitely offset and figure out how many liters it is and then calculate it. But anyway, the point is this is somewhere. Let's just say a can. Well, actually, this is 16.2 fluid ounces right here. So let's just see here. Just a moment. Let's see. Okay. This is about a normal cup. This should be about maybe 12 ounces. Let's see here. That's from a GT's kombucha. So I'm gonna say the ring is about where you'd fill it to. Should be about 12 ounces on my eye. Okay, so if that's 16.2, and I know that's not filled to the brim, I think it's somewhere around here where the edge comes in, that's about 16.2. So let's just say that's like 14 ounces. So I'd say that's about a fair cup, maybe a little bigger than the average person's mug. Somewhere roughly around there anyway. No, should be about the same as a mug. Okay, so yeah, that's about the same as your mug. And people, they just throw an entire thing of water and they just throw a tea bag in there. And that tea bag, how many grams is that? Let's see here. This looks about a standard tea bag. This is see here. Steep 4 to 5 minutes. It says on there. It's just like that's just so strong, and so I recommend that people try steeping multiple steeps. So you're doing like Western style. This is, I believe, called Gung Fu style brewing. As I said, I'm the wandering tea apprentice, so if I make any little errors, I'm sorry about that. I'm definitely learning myself, so I'm not trying to claim to be an expert. It might sound like, oh, well, he's trying to get out of it. Well, sorry, guys. I'm learning too. So anyway, this is a normal. It says use like bring fresh water to a boil over a bag of breakfast blend. Steep 4 to 5 minutes. Strong enough to handle milk. Yeah. So yeah, for milk, that's oftentimes done with a black tea. That is one thing right there. For iced tea, steep 2 tea bags. So yeah, that's pretty standard. You know, they say 2 for an iced tea. 2 bags for an iced tea. Now, I would just say, like, why are you steeping only one time? Like, I recommend everyone try steeping just like a minute, because I saw right there, it's good trial and error, because I messed up by steeping a little too long, even though I knew not to steep quite as long. But anyway, this definitively tastes worse than this to me. Brewed this about a minute. That tastes too bitter. So I recommend you guys think about that next time you brew, because people are like so used to doing things a certain way. I just don't think that it works. Because once I switched to actually doing shorter brews, I've noticed I'm just so much happier with the result. I enjoy my tea more. You get way more tea out of it, because if you do just one bag of tea, which is I guess I should see if I can open one of these. I'll show you just how much is actually in there. And I'll do a better. So this is a random tea bag. It's this kind of doesn't really matter. I think this is chamomile. So it's this is an herbal. It doesn't really matter. But I think it's roughly the same amount. So let's just look at this. So just wanted to make a point here, guys. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this off just so I don't waste it. But I'm gonna show you guys. I'm just gonna open this and show you how much is in there, and you can kind of compare it to how much I use. This is definitely more than what I use. However, you get more room for expansion and all that in the tea. When you have an open one like this, where they kind of cut it up because you don't get all that room for expansion in there. And also, you don't see what's actually in the bag. So that's another thing, guys. Think about that. You don't see what's in the tea bag. You don't know what you're actually drinking when you just throw a tea bag in there. So Numi is supposed to be pretty good quality. It's American. See, I think it was. Trying to remember. I remember they sell this in California. They actually have an actual location, so it's supposed to be pretty good quality. But at the same time, it is cut up. But anyway, that's just how it works. Anyway, sorry. What tea is that? This tea is a mystery tea, but the other one is gyokuro. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get all that out. Now, I'm going to show you how much is in the tea bag. That's another thing about not using tea bags is you get to actually control how much is in there. Which I mean, it might sound kind of common sense once you actually hear it, but people aren't doing that. You know, they're just blindly accepting that the amount that's in a tea bag is the right amount for tea. It's just it's another thing when you have tea bags. So let's see here. So that's definitely more than what I put in there. Now I could have put more in than I did. That's fine. It smells very fragrant. Has a good smell to it. All right. Now, like I said again, guys, I don't think this is actually tea at all. I didn't see any of those colors that I would see from a tea leaf. I'll show you guys what a tea plant actually looks like, a real tea plant. I'll show you like that I'm actually growing now, so you can see like a real life from my actual own home. I was not. I don't even know what type it is offhand, but anyway. So if I were to leave this for like now, the herbal tea oftentimes can be steeped at a little higher temperature, and also times a lot of times they say it can be steeped longer as well. But especially when it comes to like other tea, like a green tea. Let's see here. I don't see any steeping time on here, but anyway, the people will just throw this in for 5 minutes. Does that make sense? To just throw it all in. Oh, you could even re-steep a tea bag. There's nothing to stop you from doing that as well. But when you keep it in there for like 10, 20 minutes, like a lot of people do, I would say reconsider that. People think it's better, but is it really better? Okay. Wait, can you guys can hear me, right? Okay, yeah, you guys heard chamomile, so there we go. Still seeing that there's no audio, but I guess those are older messages. Okay, cool. Gyokuro kabusecha asumushi sencha and fukamushi sencha. I'm not even Fred. Those are very valid points. I honestly don't know at this point. I am still learning a lot, and I definitely would love to be able to answer those right offhand. And I'm just going to straight up honestly say I don't know. I do know a little bit about sencha, but I just don't know at this moment all those differences. And that's one thing. That's one reason why I wanted to have this channel is not just for to teach people, but also for to develop myself. This was kind of like an outlet to develop myself as well. I do plan to do tea classes, and I'm going to get some books on it because I actually talked to a guy in person in was it Hollywood? And so he was saying, get a book, just get an actual book, and just go through and learn all the actual types of tea. And now when I'm talking about tea, I'm talking about Camellia sinensis. This channel is about actually. Fred doesn't know either. He just wanted to know, I guess. That's fair questions, you know. Things you could. I think it's completely fair to ask those questions here. I think this is yeah, and I would like to check it out and be able to answer some of those, and maybe I can talk to you off chat about those if there's maybe some way I can help you. I don't have any products or something right for this moment or something that I'm not trying to sell you anybody or anything. So you know, guys, don't worry about that. You know, maybe eventually down the line I'm gonna have some products or something, but at this moment I have nothing. So I have nothing to. I'm not trying to sell you anything right now. So yeah. I do plan to have a tea business, but and so I'm trying to learn as well for that purpose. But Long Island iced tea is good. Okay, so you like so the best way I've seen to make iced tea, guys. By the way, and I guess I should make a video on that. I do have. I mean, what type of black tea to use? I mean, I guess it's typically Lipton, but I think it's just black tea in general is fine. Um, when you see black tea, you want to, in my opinion, from the way I've seen it, the better one I've seen is like for I'm just talking about the actual way an iced tea is made. Whether you should use sugar or not is a whole different subject on tea. But and I don't use sugar actually myself. Um, well, I mean for kombucha, yes, because that's fermentation process. So obviously it has to if you guys do learn about fermentation, it's required for bacteria to grow to use sugar. But anyway, you use a corn syrup. Basically, you mix the tea in hot water. You stir that up so it's a concentrate, and that way you know you got the right amount of sugar, and also it's more efficient to use than making it on the spot. Like especially when it comes to like certain business and so on. So you just use that syrup so it's well mixed in there, so it's not yeah. So you just make that into a syrup separately, and then put it in, and that is going to give you a better iced tea. Whereas a lot of people just throw the tea, the sugar right in there, especially when it's cold already. Like if you're making an iced tea at home and you have cold water and you're trying to mix in sugar, it's hard to mix in beverage powder when it's cold. And so a lot of people might not think about that. So it's not properly mixed. So and then it's good for sleeping. Okay. Right on. And that's another thing when it comes to like, types of teas, and then also you come to like brands and so on. That's just a huge topic. Like I said, it's from what I've seen, it's people sell more tea than anything except I think in US I've seen that bottled water is more popular than tea, but that's about it. And I just say water. It's still at the end of the day, water is just the way you're drinking it. It's the same thing like tea is tea when it comes to like if it's from Camellia sinensis, tea is tea. So yeah. I mean, not to say that there's not differences between that, but what I mean by that is just for general classification. Like when I look at it, if I was looking at the water industry, it's you got municipal and all that, but it's at the end of the day, it's water still. It's the actual same thing, just different quality levels and stuff, but as well. I would not personally, from what I've learned about water, I would say reverse osmosis is what I've come by as being the more favorable water for tea. Not distilled. Distilled has less nutritional value, and especially when it comes to kombucha, it's kind of a little bit of a topic, whether it's how big of a deal it is, but it is not recommended for kombucha to use distilled water as you lose those nutrients. Now, you can re-add nutritional value as the same as reverse osmosis. I've seen, I believe, is a 6-stage filters, or is it 3 or I think it's 6-stage filters. They don't add nutrients, but then the seven steps they do. So as far as that goes, supposedly those are the right nutrients that you want in there. So that's a whole topic in and of itself. Water is a big topic too, just like tea is, because you got all the pH and all this stuff. And like, if people say like, "Oh, water doesn't affect flavors," like, it depends your level of sensitivity to taste, but especially some water is very distinguishable in flavor, like well water. A lot of times with the heavy mineral content or so on, you can sometimes very distinctly taste the difference, especially when you're paying attention to it. So Hey, how you doing, J and K? This is awesome. I have 7 people on here. How many do I even have on my channel? Like 35? 54? Okay. That's awesome, dude. Oh, that's amazing. 54 and I have 7 viewers. That's awesome. Pretty good. Just got home from Boise. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and change this shirt real quick. Yes. Much better. How's everyone? I'm doing well, J&K. How about yourself? It was great. Really. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this out. Still pretty hot, so it's good. This is a mystery drink. As I said, to me, it's chamomile. Got that nice kind of fragrance to it. But anyway, I was just making a point earlier. I was like, if I have it, I might as well talk about it a little bit, you know. Anyway, yeah. And chamomile is supposed to be kind of like a relaxing kind of scent. Kind of ready for a nap. Sunday afternoon naps are great. Awesome. Yeah, especially if you have new work and you're going to work the next day, kind of exhausted and getting ready. So let's see here. I think I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna stop this live at about an hour. So let's see how that works out. A pretty good retention rate. People seem to be liking this, and if you guys can hit that thumbs up, I'm not sure. I don't think my thumbs up count is accurate now. Since I have 6 watching and 6 thumbs. Oh, cool. Anyway, chaga tea. What is chaga tea, Fred? So there's another one like bubble tea, which has like tapioca balls in it as well. That's another interesting one. Let's see, back up a little bit. If you guys have tried that, how many of you guys have actually tried bubble tea? Maybe I can make some at home. Like I kind of want to do more, make a lot of my teas and stuff at home. So it's the same thing with like fermentation and all that. I want to have a lot of my own. So maybe I should figure out how to make bubble tea at home. And that could be with all kinds of stuff. It's basically the kind of the gelatinous balls are basically the definition of it, I believe. It's a defining characteristic, and then it's just typically has like a plastic clear cup, and then they have this like thing the label that they push down, and it seals up around the edges, and you just stick a straw through it, and a lot of times they have really cool designs on that, like little plastic on top that they have put on there. So I'll have like some type of animal or something, kind of like their label or whatever. Haven't had bubble tea. Have any of you guys actually had it? Let's see here. All right. So I'm going to, yeah, no, well, yes, you haven't had it. right, so I'm going to end this, guys, in about 10 minutes. So if you guys have any little more questions or something I can check for you guys, or something you guys would like to see in general on this channel as I'm just starting up, yeah. Well, it doesn't seem like I'm really getting comments here now, does it? So actually, I'm gonna go ahead and end this now. Actually, I'm not getting any new comments coming in. So thank you guys for watching, and welcome to my new T channel. I hope that you guys enjoy it, and I may go live on my vending channel hopefully next week as well. I'm thinking kind of to do this as like maybe same like I did today, but maybe like an hour on my main channel. But maybe I would do my tea and vending channels first. We'll see. That way I can kind of stretch out my main channel if I want. I do a couple extra hours or something, I'll do that on my main channel. That way I can kind of wonder about topics a little more freely on my main channel. And then so I'd do like maybe like 11 vending to 11:30 tea, and then 11:30 to 12. Yeah, 11:30 to 12 would be tea. 12 to tentatively 1 hour, but it could be longer, would be that. And then I can if lives are kind of, if I have something interesting that comes about that I feel would be better on a live, like an eating challenge. I think some eating challenges are just better on live a little bit, just to kind of see in certain cases. Some things are a little more fun live maybe, but I was thinking kind of maybe like Sundays afternoons, and I'll kind of play with that time a little bit. But it seems pretty consistent that Sunday seems to be the day I'm more popular to watch. So take care, everyone. I can't think of anything right. Okay, yeah, can't think of anything right now. Yeah, well, there's so many teas I can introduce you guys to. A lot of adventures I can take you on. A lot of tea farms, and yeah, it's every tea farm has its own kind of deal going on, where its own type of specialty. Like some specialize in kind of like a black tea, like I saw at De Cheripeco. So it's they all have this kind of interesting different story, and have some tea farms I'm going to take you guys to that I've already went to, or maybe some in the future as well. Once I get bigger, I feel like maybe I can kind of get you guys into maybe some really cool places, hopefully, and we'll see how it works out. You want to venture right on? I'm wandering. All right. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.